share with you an incident that happened thousands of years back in Treta Yuga, in the time of Sri Rama. We all know Lord Sri Rama, right? His wife, Sita Mata, and Sita Ma's father, Janak Maharaj. We all know about him, right? Now, Janak Maharaj was a very great scholar. He read all the great scriptures. He was a very ardent devotee. He had great scholars in his palace, and a lot of rishis and saints used to be there. And every day they used to have lots of amazing discussions about yoga, about the ancient wisdom, about samadhi, about Brahmagyan, all these things. Great scholars used to be talking about it, and he used to listen. He loved listening to them every single day. Now, after some time, he was like, okay, this is all good. I'm listening, I'm reading, this is all fantastic. I'm doing some practices every day of yoga, but I want to experience Brahmagyan. What is Brahmagyan? How does it feel like? Nobody is giving me that experience. Everybody is talking for hours and hours and hours together. Everybody is great intellect, great scholar. So he gets very frustrated and he says, if any of you in this kingdom does not or cannot provide me that Brahmajnana going forward, I will let you go from this kingdom. I don't want you to stay in this kingdom. And now obviously everybody is worried, because all these scholars, they have spent the time in the palace with Maharaj, and now they're asked to leave. So obviously they will lose everything. Now everybody was worried. Now this news spreads obviously to the entire kingdom, because he declares it to the entire kingdom. Now this news spreads to all parts of the kingdom, and it reaches one person. His name is Ashtavakra. Now, I don't know if many of you know about Ashtavakra. He's a rare ancient treasure. We all hear about Bhagavad Gita, which was done in Dwapara Yuga in Sri Krishna Paramatma's time. But then in Treta Yuga, in the very beginning, there was an amazing text that was written called Ashtavakra Gita. And now this is a conversation between Ashtavakra and Maharaj King Janaka. Now how does that happen? So the news goes to Ashtavakra, and then he says, okay, I'm going to go and talk to king about it. So he comes to the palace, and the guards at the palace does not allow him to come inside, because Ashtavakra, the word Ashtavakra, Ashta means 8, Vakra means contortions, means bends like this. His body had 8 bends like that. He was not like any of us perfect straight body. He had a deformed body. Now obviously guards looking at him, they were like, oh, who is this fellow trying to enter into the palace? No, you're not allowed. So he tries to persuade them, and finally, his voice reaches out into the palace. Somebody tells Maharaj, King Janak, and then Janaka says, okay, let him in. So Ashtavakra goes inside. So Janaka says, why are you here? He says, I am here to give you the experience of Brahmagyan. And then everybody in the meeting place there in the palace, they start laughing at him, because he looks so deformed, so ordinary. He doesn't have any great pomp and show. He doesn't proclaim himself to be a guru, nothing, simple human being. And everybody laughs. And then Ashtavakra looks at them and he starts laughing too. And then all the scholars are like, okay, we are laughing at him, makes sense, because he has such a deformed body. He looks like a complete idiot. Like, we don't care. Why is he laughing back at us? So they ask him, why are you laughing? He says, you are all like the cobblers. Cobblers who work with the skin to make the shoes. Then they get very angry. They say, you call us cobblers, you call us some people who are living on the street. We are great scholars. How dare you say that? Then he says, cobblers work with the skin, the external form. You are looking at my external form and coming to conclusions. So how different are you than the cobblers? And then everybody becomes quiet. Then Janaka sees this, King Janaka. He says, wow, there is something in this person. So he says, okay, I'm ready. Give me Brahmagyan now. Then Janaka says, Ashtavakra says, no, I cannot do this here because this palace is filled with rajas, tamas, gunas. Because it's all, pomp and show, glow and glitter and glamour, food, dance, music, and all of these things. So I cannot give that Brahmagyan here. You need to come with me. He says, no problem. I'll come wherever you want me to. So he says, okay, join me. And then he takes King Janaka outside of the, the city, Mithilapura. And then he goes to a forest. And then obviously when king goes anywhere, we know the entire, the whole people who follow him, they all come with him, the ministers, the queen and the soldiers. And then after a point where they reach like a forest area, the Ashtavakra says, no, you don't need to come anymore. You can leave your king here. You can come back later. And then he takes them and they leave. They say, okay, we'll come back later in the evening. Now, Janaka and Ashtavakra are sitting at this crossroads. It's a road. It's right going into the forest right there. He says, okay, sit, Janaka. Then Ashtavakra asks Janaka, now if I am giving you Brahmagyan, which means I am your guru. So do you accept me as your guru? He says, yes, I do. Then he says, if you accept me as a guru, then I need dakshina. We give whatever we can to the guru, an offering. And he says, can you give me guru dakshina? Then Janaka says, yes, I can give you my entire kingdom. Ask me whatever you want. All the wealth, everything, this kingdom, I can give you for the Brahmagyan that you are going to give me. Then Ashtavakra says, no, I don't need anything. I am an ascetic. Why do I need all these things? All that I need is your mind. Can you give me your mind? Then Janaka says, absolutely. My mind is yours. Then Ashtavakra says, just lie down here. And then he lies down. And then Ashtavakra leaves from there. He goes into the forest. Now, Janaka is there in that state. Then it's evening, sunset is happening. The soldiers and the ministers and everyone is waiting for the king to come back. He has never come back. So they obviously get worried. So they come looking for him. So they find him. He's, lying down there. And they say, Maharaja, it's late in the night. It's getting late. Come on, we need to go. And then Janaka is like, doesn't move. Then they try to wake him up again few times. Janaka doesn't move. And they get worried. What happened? What did this Ashtavakra do? Did he do some kind of black magic or some kind of thing to him? And then he left into the forest somewhere. So they go call the queen. The queen comes. Queen tries, Maharaja, please wake up. No response, nothing. Then they get really worried. So the minister sends the soldiers into the forest and said, go catch that guy and come. He did something to our king. So they go into the forest searching for Ashtavakra. They find him under a tree, sitting in deep, blissful meditation. They say, Ashtavakra, you did something to our king. He's not even getting up. Can you come and do something? So they bring him. And then Janaka is still in that state of what we call samadhi. And Ashtavakra comes to Janaka and he says, Maharaja, can you get up? Maharaja, can you get up? And then Janaka wakes up. And then he says, I have experienced Brahmajnana. In fact, the condition he puts is that I should experience Brahmajnana in the span of the time. You know how we get onto a horse, you put one leg here and then you put the other leg around the horse and sit. In that moment of time, I want to experience. And he experiences Brahmajnana in that moment of time. And then he becomes obviously his disciple. And the outcome of that journey between Ashtavakra and King Janaka is the great ancient text called Ashtavakra Gita. It is extremely powerful text. It doesn't beat around the bush. It is like a bullet coming and hitting you. There is no workaround, there is no explanation, nothing. It's like straight. It is simple yet extremely powerful.